In this video, we'll discuss some encounters where cops ran into the wrong citizens. We've got a female officer who thinks she's above the law, and a female sergeant who treats a man differently because of his skin color. Let's get straight into the video. A female sergeant stopped a guy walking down the street for no good reason, but the real issue wasn't just this stop, it was that this wasn't the first time it had happened to him. Being a person of different skin color, he'd gotten used to cops stopping him without any reason, so he wasn't too shocked when a sergeant stopped him this time. But when he told her he'd been constantly messed with and harassed by cops from her department, she acted all shocked, like he was making it up, which is pretty ironic since she was doing the exact same thing. She tried to justify stopping him by saying she had to check if there was a call about him, but anyone knows that cops are supposed to tell you what the complaint is if they stop you. It was clear that the sergeant was just making stuff up, and there was no real call or complaint.
And you're the chief. What's your name?
It's Michelle Muccio.
Okay. I didn't know who the chief of police was. I'm not interested in police, right? But when your officers consistently harass a black man, you guys lie and say, "What's not racism?" How is this not racism?
Can I ask you a question?
Go right ahead.
If somebody calls us and says that they're concerned, and I'll look in to see if they call.
Well, no, I want to walk back over there right now because this is the second time this has happened.
And I appreciate what you're saying. I have to go to a meeting, but if Officer Glass is still
No,
here?
it's a different officer. So the fact that they've been directed to call the police every time I enter the building is very concerning to me.
Well,
Very concerning to me and very
not-
troubling.
Okay, they're not under my purview, this city.
But you're the chief of police.
I am, and I'm in charge of the police department.
So what I want to know is who gives the order? Because I haven't committed a crime. So what ends up happening? The first time I showed up at the building was like a month now ago, because Officer Glass approached me, which I have that on video. He approached me, and I told him to get away from me. You have no reason to even have a conversation with me. Why are you even approaching me? There's nothing friendly about the police. When this type of behavior happens, this is why we need to defund the police. Because when you have an excess of police that's running around harassing black men for no reason, they don't have a valid reason to why they keep on harassing me.
This guy was trying to explain things to this female officer, telling her he had just had a rough stop with another cop not too long ago, and this cop wasn't nice at all. Since she was a sergeant, he wanted her to come with him to point out the cop who had given him trouble. You could tell she wasn't keen on the idea, but since the guy was recording the whole thing, she kinda had to play along and look like a good cop. Still, her face made it pretty obvious she thought this was a big waste of her time, even though her department seems to waste this guy's time a lot, probably because of racial profiling. They ended up going to the city hall, but they couldn't find the cop he had issues with. Then the sergeant said she'd jot down the police car number to try and figure out who the problematic cop was, and that she'd get back to him. But really, how is that supposed to make anyone feel better?
There's no valid reason at all.
Then my recommendation to you would be to file a complaint.
So why can't we go over there so you know who the officer? All I want you to do is know who this officer is. I want to go with you so he can see my face and that I talk to you. Because this at this point is unacceptable. And they think that this is actually funny. This isn't funny. So I think the problem here is that they feel like you're going to keep on harassing homeless people, and they've assumed that I'm homeless, right? But I would urge you guys to look at the city of Ocala, Florida, when the homeless people sued the city and won. And that was very recent. So they need to explain to you.
No, that's not how this is going to go.
Well, just I want to know who, you know. So, where did that officer go?
Oh, I'm not sure. I know where. Hold on, let me see. You see, he was doing business. I told you they couldn't.
Now, he wasn't doing business. We got it on video. He said he was called on me. The video doesn't lie.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
We want the chief wants to know who he
I
is.
can see who. I look at the car number.
No, we need his face. Let's get his face.
Like I said, this isn't gonna. You're not directing this.
No,
right
I just
now,
want you to
okay,
see him.
sir?
I want you to see him.
I will see the officer. I can see the car right there. I have to go to a meeting. I will get the officer's car number and find out who it is. And I will let him know that I met with you.
You met with me, and I really would like the harassment to stop. Every time I enter this building, it's not like they're going to prevent me from being on city property. They tried to do it over there. It didn't work. They're not going to be able to do it.
I understand, just so you know.
Even though she was just trying to keep her cool, the female sergeant started getting more and more jittery. She even made up some excuses about needing to leave for a meeting. Turns out the guy was homeless, which made him probably an even bigger target for cops. But what the sergeant didn't realize was that she had messed with the wrong guy this time. One wasn't about to drop his plan to file a complaint.
And I would hate for the video to go to the news. I would hate that.
Listen, stuff happens every day. I'm sorry you feel like you're harassed. Okay.
Feel like it. It's on video.
Okay, you said twice.
Correct.
2
Correct.
times.
Correct. But we figured out today, every time I enter this building, they call the police.
Well, that's not.
That's not standard. That's not standard procedure, though.
Okay, that's not on me. I'll look into it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's what I'm telling you.
And one more thing, before we go, I just want to make this statement since you're the chief. The police's job is to fight crime. The police's job is not to determine who anyone is. That's not your job. Your job is to fight crime. Your job is not to identify black people. That's not your job.
Our job is to protect and serve.
Correct. And until you guys,
if somebody calls us because they want our help, we're gonna come to it. Like I said, I'm gonna look into it. But right now, like I told you, I have a meeting. I got the car number. It's 460. Is this?
yeah, that's the car that he pulled up in.
This isn't the officer's.
No, these aren't the officers, but the officer, he was standing right here, and that's not their car.
No, this one.
This
is
one
his.
right here.
Okay.
I just would like for the harassment to stop.
All right,
I mean,
I will listen. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to find out what happened. Okay.
well, the universe works in very mysterious ways, because how is it that this happened to me today, and then I'm walking, and then I run into you? Interesting. And I believe in Buddhism too. So
Okay.
there you go. You have a nice day, man.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you. That may be the officer right there, actually. That's him right there.
When this guy decided to spend his day filming in the parking lot in front of the police station, he sure didn't expect to run into a female officer who wasn't quite up to speed on her job. She was all up in his business, demanding to know why he was there and why he was filming. Well, the simple answer for her is because he can and because it's his right. But when he asked her for her name and badge number, she only gave her badge number, insisting that was all she needed to give. If she only knew how off base she was. But then again, what do you expect from cops who aren't too familiar with constitutional law? She said she got a complaint about a guy filming out front. Clearly, it was another cop who had complained, annoyed that someone was challenging their self-given power and authority by standing up for their constitutional rights.
Recording.
Why am I recording? What's your name and badge number?
My badge number is 30410.
And your name?
I don't need to provide you my name, but I can give you my badge number.
You do need to provide 2 pieces of ID under the Community Policing Act. Yes, you do. It's, how do you pronounce that? Doiron?
Yeah. So how come you're here recording today,
So do you know why you have that on your chest, right?
sir?
Do you know why you have that on your chest? Just to be very straightforward with you, do you know why you wear your name and your badge number? Because you have to identify to people. What if I can't read?
I don't have my badge number on me, sir. I just have my
Where is
name,
it?
right?
It's written on you somewhere, isn't it?
No, I only have my name on.
Okay. So what seems to be the issue?
I need to know what you're recording here today. We had a call for service that you were recording outside our headquarters, so that's just why I'm asking.
So who called for service? Was it one of the officers hanging out in the parking lot?
I don't know who called, but either way, I need to get an understanding as to why you're here.
Why? Am I breaking a law?
No, I'm just asking why you're here.
I'm not breaking a law, so therefore I have no obligation to explain myself to you. I'm working on a little project, as you can see,
Okay.
and you interrupted me while I was narrating, so.
Okay, what kind of project are you working on?
Is that going to change anything?
No, I'm just trying to get an understanding understanding as to why you're here reporting.
Then a male officer showed up to back up his colleague, who was clearly struggling with the situation. He came over and told the guy he could tell he was trying to rile them up, but he wasn't going to lose his cool over it. He basically said the guy was free to film all he wanted, which seemed like a way of telling his female colleague to cool it and not make a bigger mess, since they were dealing with someone who wasn't going to back down. But then this officer went on to say that people often come to the police station looking to harm cops. Honestly, no one's out to harm them. When are cops, who are always armed and surrounded by other armed cops, going to stop feeling like they're always the victim?
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Your name and badge number?
You'll get it at the end, don't worry.
No. May I have it now?
Yeah, Morocco 30324. Can we help you?
No.
Okay, what you doing here?
Exactly what it appears I'm doing here.
Okay, you're just videotaping the station?
Working on something. I was actually going to go in, but you're closed on the holidays.
We are. Okay, you're free to do that. Nobody's going to bother you, okay?
That's good.
Okay, thank you.
And you don't need to know why?
I don't really know. Seems like that's something you want us to ask, but I'm not going to ask
No.
that.
You know what? I was perfectly fine doing my story alone until I was interrupted. So
That's okay. We have to, unfortunately, the manner of our job, we have to respond to people on our premises because sometimes people do come here to hurt us. So we just need to
yeah,
we'd like to know what's going
why
on.
don't you give me an example of that?
I'm not going to. That's not my
Yeah?
business to tell you. That's okay, okay?
Yeah, you know what? That doesn't happen. You guys always say that the people come to your police station to hurt you, and nobody's here to hurt
Trying to
you.
get a reaction out of us, and that's not going to happen right now.
Nobody's trying.
We're going to go on our way, and you can continue doing what you're doing, okay?
That is
Take care,
awesome.
have a good day.
Stop feeding me the horse shit about people are here to hurt you. And you, ma'am, next time, Doirin, identify yourself, would you please? You have a great day.
A freelance journalist decided to go into a federal building lobby to film content for his story, but the workers weren't too happy about what he was filming, so they called the cops. A male and female officer showed up. The male officer stayed back and kept his cool, but the female officer went all out trying to show she was in charge, quickly making things tense. She said she got a call from the workers who wanted the journalist out. But since when do workers get to decide who stays in a building? And why is this officer trying to kick people out just because the workers said so? Isn't her job to uphold the law, not cater to the workers' feelings? Just because the worker didn't like what was happening doesn't mean the journalist should lose his constitutional rights.
We got a call.
I mean, I would like
that
to.
you were in here. And that you needed to be removed from here. Can I have you just step out here with us?
For what?
Because we need to talk to you, so just go ahead and step out here with us.
Oh, we can talk right here, right?
I'm gonna have you step out here.
Why would that be? Can I get your name and badge numbers, please?
Yep, we can do that when you step out here.
But why would I need to step out there?
outside.
Are you conducting business in here?
Yeah, for sure.
What business are you
I would ask that you de-escalate and identify yourselves, please. I would just,
What
you know,
business are you conducting?
respectfully, because I don't like the
Go
way
ahead,
that. Sorry, sir.
What business are you conducting here?
Ma'am, what business of that is yours? To be honest with you, and you're not even identifying yourself to me as a law enforcement officer.
My vest identifies who I am. My name tag identifies who
I don't know how to pronounce
So we got
that.
a call. That's fine. You don't have to know how to pronounce it. We got a call.
I mean, I would like
that
to.
you were in here. And that you needed to be removed from here.
When the older male officer noticed the female cop was heading down the wrong path, he tried to chill things out by calmly suggesting to the guy that he should leave. But the real issue wasn't how they were asking, it was that they didn't have the right to ask him in the first place. And when the guy wanted their names and badge numbers, the female officer said he could only get that info if they all stepped outside. What kind of game was that? Pretty wild how quickly cops seem to forget the bits of the Constitution they swore to protect. Isn't that odd?
Removed from here.
Okay, and that's what you're trying to do, correct?
Well, I was just trying to talk to you.
No, you're trying to order
I
me
said-
to leave.
No, I said, can you step out here?
And I politely refused, and I said we could talk right here,
Okay.
and so we could lower our voices and not
So
interrupt any
what
business.
do you have here?
Oh, I'm an independent journalist.
Okay.
I'm taking some pictures and video.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. Can I get your badge number or anything that
G704 is my badge.
G704
that's
and
me.
your name, sir, and badge number?
I'm Lieutenant Jones, 640.
Lieutenant Jones. Thank you, Lieutenant. I appreciate it.
All right, so what you need?
I don't need anything. I didn't call you,
Well,
sir.
if you don't need anything, you need to leave the building then.
What do you mean?
Well, if you're not here to conduct business, you need to leave.
I am conducting business, sir. I'm conducting constitutionally protected business, sir.
Okay, are you
Did you take an oath? Did you take an oath to uphold the Constitution, sir?
Why do cops get twitchy when someone films their police cars? Take, for example, these two cops. They walked up to a guy filming police cars in a parking lot looking all shocked. They acted like he was in a place he shouldn't be. But really, he was just in the parking lot, a public space, filming the buildings and parked police cars. The cops, though, called it suspicious. But that's just their take. The guy filming doesn't have to worry about it. They must have reasonable suspicion that a person will commit a crime. Just feeling suspicious isn't enough. Still, they tried to justify themselves by saying the building being filmed was private. But the thing is, the guy wasn't inside the building. He was outside, in a public spot, filming it. If the people owning a private building don't like their building being filmed, maybe they should think about putting up some walls.
Did I do something wrong?
If you're in here recording our video,
Yeah.
vehicle,
Right? Yes.
This is a secured facility.
So what?
I'm telling you, that would be suspicious to us. That's not normal.
Okay, so as I was explaining, not specifically saying that you were two talking, but they appear to be communicating vehicle from vehicle, okay, parking next to each other. Then either the same person or a third deputy followed me around all the way to the Arco gas station. I crossed this, before I even crossed the street, I witnessed him pull into the parking lot over there by the breakfast area. He made a U-turn in the empty parking lot, okay, made the right turn on this street, went all the way to the newer apartment buildings, came back around, and then I spotted him over there by Shell. And on my video, I told him, pull into the Shell so I can confront him. And I said that multiple times. I clearly expressed to him, why are you following me? Well, like a coward, he took off back into this parking lot, and by the time I got here, all three were gone. Okay? So
this occurred after you were videotaping this facility?
Correct.
So why were you videotaping this facility?
For my own business.
Okay, but this is a private facility.
This is public area, ma'am.
Okay. So can you see how?
The male cop told him there was a sign saying no photos or videos allowed. But when the man asked to be shown the sign, the cop didn't have much to say because he'd made it up. The female cop then said it wasn't normal for someone to be filming around like that, but that's just their opinion. The male cop even stood in front of the man to block his video. Even though they thought they were just doing their job, they were actually stepping on people's rights, which could end up costing their qualified immunity.
There. Show me the sign that a secured facility, sir.
Okay. So
Show me the sign.
see the fencing with
Hold
the
on.
barbed wire on top?
Show me the sign where it says secured facility.
Okay, you can only access it through an access card. There's 8
Where am I standing right now?
barbed wire.
Where are we standing right now? Right now, where am I standing? No, answer my question. Where am I standing right now?
So you are
Here.
not allowing us to talk.
You know why? No, I'm not going to allow you because instead of doing your job and listening to me, you're trying to accuse me that as if I did something wrong. Did I do something wrong?
If you're in here recording our video,
Yeah.
our vehicle,
Right? Yes.
okay, this is a secured facility.
So what?
But I'm telling you, that would be suspicious to us. That's not normal.
Okay,
right?
so once you figure out that that's legal, why continue to pursue me?
So, I don't know what they did. What I'm trying to help you
No,
understand.
right now,
No,
let's go
I'm
back.
not gonna argue with
Okay,
you,
then if you're not gonna help me, and if you don't want to argue with me, both of you are dismissed, and I will, absolutely.
Well, I can stand here too, can't
Well,
I?
so can I,
Okay.
right? And I can film. In fact, I can go over here and film this.
Actually, no, you can't.
Okay.
Not long after, their supervisor showed up, and it was pretty clear why these cops acted the way they did. They hadn't been shown that being a cop means being honest and earning people's trust, not just demanding it. Right away, the supervisor backed up his officers, no matter what, telling the guy he needed to leave, even though what he was doing was protected by the Constitution. But their egos were so big that they thought they could just tell him to go. They seemed to forget they were not above the law. They probably didn't expect to run into the wrong citizen. The guy even pointed out a sign that proved he was in a public area. Stuck for words, they then tried to threaten him with trespassing charges. Seems like they really don't get what trespassing is, because if they did, they know you can't be trespassing on public property.
Leave.
What law am I breaking?
You have no business here.
What law am I breaking?
You have no business here.
Absolutely, I have business here. I just
What is
explained
it?
what my business
What
is.
is your business?
Talk to your lady over here.
I'll explain it to you.
I'm doing my investigation.
Okay, you can leave.
I'm not gonna leave. You can piss off. This is public property. I'm conducting my own business, my own investigation, and you don't have any rights to tell me I have to leave.
Sure we do.
No, you don't.
This is county.
I don't give a damn what you say. You can say whatever you want. I don't have to follow your bullshit. Okay?
Let me look this up real quick.
Go ahead, look it up. Right there. It says right there. Public works. Public property. All public. I own all of this land. Everything. I own these vehicles. I own this lot. I own your dress code. Everything that's on you. On you. Everything. Your salaries, I pay for them.
So you've already been explained that you need to leave.
I don't give a damn what you say. You don't have any right to tell me I have to leave public property. I'm not breaking any laws.
This secure facility is...
It's not a secure facility. I'm on a public parking lot.
You need to
I am
leave.
not behind the fence, you idiot.
So we're not calling your names, right?
Well, I have freedom of speech. You should have done your job correct.
Speech is out there.
My freedom of speech everywhere where it's public.
The guy stood his ground, saying he'd only leave when he was good and ready, once he'd finished filming. He tried to get the supervisor's business card, but these rookie cops wouldn't let him get close, saying the supervisor was on a call. Then they got all upset when the guy told them to zip it. Did they really expect him to be all smiles when they fibbed? People have the right to speak their minds, and they can say what they want, how they want. If the cops had been nicer, maybe he'd have spoken to them more kindly. And the kicker? All those police cars were parked illegally. Imagine if regular people parked like that. You bet these same cops would be thrilled to slap them with fines.
Where's your driver's license?
I'm not gonna give you anything.
Okay, then you need to leave. Otherwise, you are going to be trespassed.
When I'm done recording,
At that point, I'm investigating a crime.
when I'm done recording,
You are legally required to provide a...
be quiet. Be quiet.
Alright.
I want his business card. Don't knock on his door, or otherwise I will come up here. I don't give a damn what he's on.
Okay, well, you're not welcome to approach him. You need to stop.
Give me a business card, deputy.
I told
Or
you.
sergeant, whatever.
You're not welcome to approach him. He's on the phone.
Okay, good. I'll wait.
You need to wait.
I'll wait. Show me the sign where it says business hours on this lot. Where's that at? Where's the sign of business hours of this lot?
You've already been told to leave.
Doesn't matter what you say. I said, what are the business hours of this lot?
I'm not required to answer your
You
question.
need to leave.
At this point,
I'm not gonna leave. I'm gonna leave when I want to leave. No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. Just because you asked me to leave doesn't give you lawful authority.
I am telling you.
I don't give a damn what you're telling me. Get it? I don't care what you're telling me.
Oh, I get
I'm
it.
following the law. The law gives me the right to be on public property, record, investigate, anything that has to do with public interest, especially if I am personally investigating a crime, being a victim of a crime, but one of you gangsters.
so I just tried to talk to you and investigate that, and you were not complying.
You crossed that line when you tried to accuse me of something that I did wrong.
I